Good morning. This is what we call a pill bug, or a sow bug, or a, let me think, no, that's German killer also. But these guys can roll up into little balls. And I've just been noticing that they're much darker, well, more red than the ones I've ever known. So in Scotland, Germany, and the United States, I've only ever seen so a dark gray, kind of steel colored pill bug before. And they're also known as woodlice. And yeah, so I just found these quite interesting. So bye-bye woodlouse, and go back to regular size. And I'll go ahead and show you some of the view today. So remember the storm from last night? I'm not even sure if it ever rained after all that thunder. Oh, that's beautiful. That looks like the entrance to a cemetery. I've always had a fond attraction for cemeteries. People usually take such loving care of them, and they're filled with such age and love, and they're quite peaceful. So yeah, so I don't know if it ever actually rained, but there's a fog here in the morning. I've taken a few pictures of the way markers. Sometimes they're hard to find, and sometimes they seem kind of obvious, like, oh right, okay, I should have noticed that one. And you see here's another one coming up. But yeah, I've read that the fog can be present all morning and then burn off by the afternoon. I might go silent for a bit and just use this as a nice video time to watch. So I set my alarm for 5 this morning, which is my normal waking up time, which is even, you know, physically an hour later than normal for me because I'm an hour ahead of Spain, where I live in the UK is an hour ahead. But last night was a really good night's sleep. It still took me a while to finally fall asleep, I think because of my nap in the afternoon, perhaps. But it was a really good night's sleep, and I dreamt. And I dreamt so that I could actually remember the dream. I think the night before last I did some dreaming, but it wasn't really significant. And this last night I dreamt of my mother. The strange thing was that she had onset Alzheimer's. And my mother never had Alzheimer's. She actually passed, I think now, 14 years ago. And so it was strange, but I was looking for her. So she had gone out to do something, and I was looking for her, right? So kind of, you know, intriguing that I'm on the Camino and I'm looking for my mommy, you know? That's, you know, I read a lot into that. You know, it's tough what I'm doing. And I also looked again at my intention for the Camino. And my intention is to Ooh, someone's rustling into the down there. I wonder if we'll see who. Probably a little lizard. Okay. Well, anyway, my intention is to really, I had different words this morning, but it's to get to know the Camino, to join with the Camino. The Camino for me is an entity. It's not like the people and the albergues and all of that. Those are aspects, those are, you know, parts. But the Camino itself is an entity. And I want to connect with that entity. And I want to, well, I've already asked its permission to walk it. And now I want to see what it can teach me about myself. So the fact that I am looking for my mother in my dream, who I believe in my dream has Alzheimer's, meaning she's forgotten. It's all very symbolic to me. And I was a little bit jittery. I'm not really sure where that came from. Water, food, you know, I'm not feeling it now. I did have that banana. Oh, and then, so I got up at 5, but then I went back to sleep. And that's when I had the dream, right? Well, I laid there and I stretched a bit, and then I fell asleep. And then I had that dream. And then when I woke up, it was 6:30, and I got up and I'm doing joggers stretches. I'm not sure if they're very different from walkers stretches, but today was the first day that I did them. It was the first day I thought of them. So today felt in many ways like my first day of the Camino. I think because, I don't know, maybe I've really arrived. You know, the very first day was all struggle and joy, and, you know, it was just alternating between those two emotions most of the time. And the second day was very pleasant, visiting with Yosef most of the time, and it was a very short day. And today it feels like I'm really doing this, you know. And maybe that's where some of the anxiety came from, you know, I'm not sure. But it did pass, and I've got about 21 kilometers, 20 now probably, ahead of me. And there's one other thing I was going to tell you about. Everybody else can turn away if they want to. Aha, there's my Camino sign. Because I'm going to talk about toilet etiquette. No, not toilet etiquette. About proper toilets. That's what I'm going to talk about. So, nobody uses proper toilets. Toilets are built so that your knees are lower than your hips, unless you have very, very long calves. And really, whenever you poop, your knees should be higher than your hips. So you should be in a more or less squatting position. And it's really, I want to let everybody know, because you should all be getting a little step stool, like for children, but you put it in front of your toilet and you put your feet on it. And this really enhances proper digestion, proper elimination. Everything is supported by having your knees higher than your hips when you use the toilet, especially regularly. So I just want to say that. Already quite well, in need of a rest, but I mean not long. I'm just sitting here for a few minutes. But yeah, I was feeling, it's quite interesting because I was feeling like I wanted some water back when one of the hills started. And well, before that, actually, I had asked the Camino, what's your pace? And the Camino answered right away. There's this saying here the Camino provides. And right away, I got a sensation of the right pace, because I was not walking in my normal 5.6 kilometers per hour pace. And I think that's why I actually questioned it. Is this the right pace to be taking? And so I got a feeling for what the right pace is. So I started taking that right pace, that Camino pace. And then I noticed I was in the flow, in an energetic flow of energy for the Camino. And I kept following that, and I followed it, you know, right up the hill, and I was getting real thirsty. And I was thinking, you know, when am I going to stop? Okay, right at the crest, because it's easier to stop at the crest of a hill than on a hill. And then I got to the crest, but it just kind of urged me to keep going. There was another little crest, and now, yeah, it's pretty flat. I mean, it goes up a tiny bit, but I think it's going to go down after that. And then there's this nice log to sit on here at the next way marker. So just past the next way marker. So I decided to have a little break here. And I've been struggling with my water bottles are kept on the side of my backpack, and I can't reach them while I'm walking. And so I finally did this, and I'm quite happy with that. It doesn't bang around or anything. Probably as long as I keep the right pace. And so it's really nice and handy. And then I'll just refill this all the time from my other large one on the side. And yeah, it feels quite good. So I'm just about to get started again. But I really feel like if I just stick with the Camino on this and use the Camino guidance, when to rest, when to start again, and what pace to take, I feel like that's going to go a long way towards enriching this experience. And yeah, you can see the sun, maybe you can tell, it's starting to burn off the fog. So this is just a low, just a morning mist, morning fog kind of thing. Anyway, see you at the next one. Hey, so where I took a break back there was, I'd come around 3 kilometers, I think, and it was just under 7 kilometers to get to Uppbeat. And I'm going to Larrasoaña today. So I think I already mentioned that was a total of around 21 kilometers. And yeah, that downhill that I thought it was going to be, no, the Camino went up. But I did just stay in there's my way marker. Can you see it? Yeah. I just stayed within my Camino rhythm, and I got up it. You know, it was definitely a trial, and I felt it burning in, not burning, but I felt it in my thighs. And yeah, I'm thinking I might start using the rosemary on my thighs as well as my calves, just to waken up those muscles. And I was also asking how long until my body has acclimatized to this level of work. And the answer I got was 3 to 6 days for, yeah, so we'll see if that pans out. Whether that was my answer or the Camino, I'm not really sure. But, because I was just sort of pondering it, so it could have come from anywhere. But yeah, 3 to 6 days, and then hopefully the muscles will have acclimatized to daily walking. And yeah, I left this morning, I didn't mention that, at just past 7. So I am getting started earlier each day. So I think my target will be to wake up at 5 and to leave shortly thereafter. So maybe be on the road by 5:30 each day. But I'll just take it in stride and see what's happening, see what's required, especially since last night I had a room to myself, but in upcoming nights I'll be in the albergues again, so I might need to remember this time to get out earplugs or something, although the snoring doesn't really seem to bother me. It's just another sound that I can kind of filter into white noise. But yeah, it's definitely a little less peaceful, I think, in the albergues, just because there's so much activity, so much going on. Oh, that's a lovely view. I hope you can see that. I'm going off path right now to show you this, but that's simply gorgeous. All that mist down there in that valley. So I just passed a sign to security. I think it's around 4 kilometers. Trying to get a close up. Where is it? Of like a sack. There it is. So it's like right. Oh no, my finger's gonna come into this. Whoops, that's not right. Right there. That white thing. That looks like I think it's like a spider sack or something. Yeah, but anyway, I just thought I'd give you guys another little look of things. So I guess we've come another 3 kilometers and the view's opening up on one side. I think it might be because of forest works, but a lot of the trees look broken. So, that could be damage from a storm or something. This is my path ahead. And yeah, I want to say sorry to all my German students that I haven't been speaking in any German on the journey. I have been speaking a lot of German, just not in the videos. I've met quite a few Germans already, and of course when my Spanish fails me, German pops right up. Yeah, but I just thought I'd show you a little bit of what we're doing now. I think I'll keep it going until it opens up ahead. I might have a pretty nice view up there. You can hear the forest construction in the background. Not a particularly joyous sound. But who knows what they're doing? Maybe they're helping in some way. I hear a lot more of those little tiny spider webs that you can find in trees and bushes. So, which direction? All of those signs completely are illegible. Something. Ero is, I think, the river. So I'm going to assume it's not that way. And, yeah, There's my Camino sign up ahead. I'm just gonna climb up here for a moment and see if I can get a good view for you guys. It goes quite far down. Lovely. All right. It's a nice little place to sit, a nice little wall to rest. Maybe people camped here at one time, a long time ago. And maybe up there as well. This looks like a nice little camping area. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, no, after all, looks like a road, a forest road. You know, there was a sign back there, well, a memorial made by the Friends of the Camino. I think it's called Los Amigos de Camino or something. But, yeah, someone died. And I imagine that's not the first time that people die on the Camino. But, you know, maybe this is where he wanted to die, that man. Anyway, we're getting into car territory. I'm going to turn this off. So this ground has all of these levels of rock, and much of the path is like this ever since I left Biskarette. And it's interesting, you know, it looks like it's, you know, tectonic something or other. And yeah, a while back we began the descent into Uppbeat. It's been just over a couple of hours since I started the walk. I took a 10-minute break to eat an apple, and between 5 and 10 minutes, I'm not really sure. And yeah, and I'll stop for a few minutes in Uppbeat and check a few things out, and then continue on to Larrasoaña. There's a lovely little bridge across the river. Well, the little burn and stream. Burn is what we call it in Scotland. And I'm coming across the steps just because. And I'm starting to get the feeling that the Camino does not go through Uppbeat so much as past it. So I am not going to pause, I think, in Uppbeat after all, because I've just gone past it essentially. But that's okay. I'm listening to the Camino. When I speed up, when I lose sight of the Camino energy, and my water bottle starts flinging about, the one that I have strapped to my waist there, right? And when I'm not going too fast, when I'm in the Camino zone, when I am in the Camino energy, then it's not a bother at all. It barely moves with the walking. So I've talked to my body about this, and I am listening to my body, and I'm a great fan of my body. However, we are both needing to get in sync with the Camino. So we're both adjusting to it, to the energy of it. And that's why I'm letting the Camino guide me. Not signposts, right? The Camino, the energy of the Camino itself. I'm letting it guide me to when to stop, when to eat, when to drink, And the next part will be when to earth my feet and massage them. So, bye-bye for now. So, this is a rather dangerous part of the Camino. It's on a road, and there's no real path for us to walk on. I'm walking on the left side so as to be seen by oncoming traffic. There's another little way marker. And I think down there, that should be some, it looks like elderflower. And you can make a nice syrup out of that. You know, people make elderflower wine and things like that. And the path now is quite dry and hot. I've put my my head protection on, had another sip. I'm looking for, at some point, a place to stop, to ground my feet, massage them, and have some nuts. So nuts are definitely next on the menu, as per the Camino. And you can see there's a group of cyclists up ahead, and I'm just kind of, might wait for them to move on. I think I'll go ahead and just move on, and then I'll take a picture of the maps that are up on that on those little houses, and then I'll continue. See you again. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure how far it is to Larrasoaña. Uppbeat, if you remember, was 7 kilometers, and altogether I'm doing 21, so you would imagine that I've got 14 more to go. But yeah, I'm knowing for sure it doesn't really make too much of a difference, so I'm not going to bother to try and look again and find out. But as I said, it's rather dry in this part, and yeah, well, we can go and look at this now. The French cyclists have moved on. I even used my German to speak with the French woman because she'd had German in school, you know, so that's quite fun. Ah, here we go. Answers already. These are the answers, right? Do I see anything in English? It looks like it's all in Spanish. And I think that's Basque, maybe. And this one too. So anybody who wants to, who knows, can put, you know, some translations in the comments. I'm just seeing if I've seen any of these birds. I think I've seen the one on the top left. Yeah. Oh, their tails. Oh, that's a good way to know them, by their tails. I'm going to take a picture, in fact, so I remember that. Anyway, bye-bye. So this is strange because you see these little no walking signs, and then that clearly says that the Camino is in that direction. But then I have no walking signs. So I'm hoping that those mean don't walk on the grass, but not this path. Just some reflection here. I've come 11 kilometers. I know because I checked my app. And back there, when I was coming down some steps, a little lizard crossed the path, and I almost brought my walking pole down on its tail. At least that's how it felt to me, which would have been quite horrific had that happened. The funny thing is, though, that when it continued, it kind of sat there, and it only moved a couple times, and then it just kind of watched me, you know, from the side, from one eye. And there was something else as well. Yes, when I was coming down that, it was a gravel hill, And so it was after I left the Lizard, and it was a gravel hill. And the Camino again, I wasn't even going that fast, I didn't feel like, but my bottle began to swing and the Camino told me to slow down. So going downhill, you often need to be a lot more careful. Not more careful, but you also need to be careful. More careful than maybe you're used to being. And I think that's what the Lizard was telling me also, you know, see how close I had come to damaging a beautiful creature of this world. And so I am going a lot slower now. Yes, it's an ascent at this point, but I've been really good about listening, and I have completed half the journey. I'm on the other side of the half, and but as I said, I'm still, when I find the right spot, I'll stop for a bit. Okay, so it's not exactly the kind of grounding I was thinking of, but I'm gonna sit here for a bit. I almost passed the water, saw the sign for it, but then I saw the signs for the Camino over there, and I didn't see a fountain. And then I turned around and looked and saw this sort of haven, and decided, well, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit, no matter what. No, the one cat under the car over there, that one just kind of growled a little bit at this one coming to see what's happening. Oh, you can come to me, I don't mind. You can come see me. Yeah. Hello, you two. The little one didn't seem to be bothered at all. Anyway. Yeah, and then I discovered the fountain there, yeah. So I'm gonna sit down and have some nuts, and then someone left some, what's that called? Jello for anybody who wants it, which is sweet. And I'm gonna sit here, have my nuts, massage my feet, and have a little break, and then I'll move on. So I'm just heading out from my little stop. It was maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and I massaged my feet when I got there. I filled my water bottles. I had half a bag of pistachios, and there's that place in the distance that we saw last time. And then that was everything. And I remember to do my qigong. I haven't done my qigong in ages. Feels like ages, and certainly not on this trip. And I did my qigong, and I did my stretches again, even though I did them this morning before I left. I did my I explained they were the stretches I know for runners, but I think they are probably also quite good for walkers. And I remember to do my psoas. I did that the first night when I was in the albergue in Roncesvalles. Not sure how many I did on each side, 25 or something like that. And I did 20 on each side just now, and then I did another 10 on each side. So those strengthen the psoas muscle, which is the outer, there are 3 psoas muscles, and they're the outer hip muscles connecting the upper body and the lower body. And yeah, so I did those, my qigong, and my exercises, my stretching, I mean not exercises. And then I massaged my feet one more time before I put my socks back on. So I didn't do the earthing with earth, but I did it on stone. And that little town, I can't think of the name, something like Ilaritz, something in that direction. I might be able to tell you later on. Anyway, that's us for now. And see you later. So this sign says that Larrasoaña is only 2.2 kilometers, but I'm not really willing to trust that. It feels quite early to be arriving. It's 11:30 now, just gone. 11:30 when I started walking again. But we'll see. It could be 2.2 kilometers uphill, right? And then maybe by the time I get there, I'll be absolutely ready. Oh, this is cute. The cat is wandering along with the dogs. It's very adorable. One of the dogs was just running past me up and down the road. This little cat is very cute. Yeah. Hello, meowsies. Hello, meowsies. Darling. Oh, where's your eye? Oh, precious. Oh, sweet pea. Oh. Yeah. And on we go. You know, I met a woman just back there at my little rest stop, and she was saying how on her first day she tried a bit too much and she ended up hurting her knee, and so she needs to slow down and she doesn't know if she'll make it. And I just reminded her that slowing down is undoubtedly the best way to go, because you can do the Camino as a sporting activity for sure, and it will be amazing. But to really feel the Camino, to be in touch with it, I think you need to slow down. And she said, yeah, maybe that was her body's way of making sure that she did that. Here's a little slow-moving slug. And just imagine how difficult that is to get across all this dry dirt and stones. I don't know how it feels for the little creature, but it's a very determined one. It's come. Look how far it's come already. Right? Wait till I see the grass. There. So from all the way on the left over there, it came. I'm assuming anyway it went across, and it's going across to this side. Respect, little creature. Here, the Camino has gotten very small. There was a part back there where it was really dry, where I saw the lizard, and that was even narrower. It wasn't very long, but it was narrower. But I think it's quite interesting how this path has remained for so long. I do wonder if it's been diverted over the many years. You know, since its inception, to make way for cars and roads and things like that, or if it's really stayed absolutely true to this path